Cool world.
And we are live.
It's always something.
Welcome, human beings of all sizes, colors, shapes, to the Today in Millenia podcast, the most important show on the planet Earth. I'm, of course, your host, Nick Pierre, and I'm joined across and to my left by the wonderful, doesn't like to help much with prep work, but she's great when she's on this show, the great and powerful Miss Maheen Savani. How are you? Welcome.
I am great. I just want to say thank you for such an inclusive, mature adult introduction.
Of course.
You're saying hello, humans of all shapes and colors. I'm proud of you.
Of course.
Very progressive.
Keep it PC around here. We want everyone here. And even if you're not a human being, if you're an animal, I have National Geographic, I have Disney Plus, so if you're an animal, you can join as well. There's an animal already on the show, and he hails all the way from the sunny peninsula of Honduras via the great city of Brentwood, New York. You know him, the one and only Alexio Fast Hands Rivera. How are you, sir?
I'm doing amazing. Just want to remind everybody to like and subscribe every single time you get on the show. Just punch that like button.
Just slam that shit.
You could tap it.
Even if you don't like it. If you don't like it, hit like anyways.
Hit like anyways, yeah. I think you get like a prize if you hit it enough.
Yeah. If you hit enough like buttons, you'll get a prize. I don't know what the prize is, but you'll get it. Kind of like one of those crane machines. They'll send it to your house. So, I guess heavy hearts here to start it off.
For sure.
It was a crazy week for news. We're going to get through all of it, but I guess it's we're a couple days late anyways, but the great Kobe Bryant has passed away. I will say the first thing that I thought was that, like, disbelief, just absolute disbelief, because he's like a superhero. Like, Kobe Bryant is not supposed to die at 41 years old. To me, that was like the biggest thing for him is like, it's Kobe fucking Bryant. His Achilles ripped through his leg and he came back like 6 months later.
Two of them.
Yeah, both of them. And he shot the 2 free throws right at the end with the torn Achilles. Like, couldn't even walk. Like, you know what happens when your Achilles tendon tears? It's that thing in the back. It's a thing in the back of your heel. Feel your heel, that little tendon.
Thing,
It snaps and rolls up your leg. Rolls up your calf.
Rolls up.
Rolls up your calf. Yeah,
God.
so you can't move your foot anymore. And he shot 2 free throws before he went off the court.
Oh.
So it's Kobe Bryant. He's like invincible. And I'm like, okay, his plane might have went down, but there's no way he's dead. It's Kobe fucking Bryant. I just always had this idea of Kobe Bryant sitting at the Staples Center courtside at like 80 years old, still yelling at 20-year-old players, like just being Kobe Bryant. So that was like the one big thing I pulled from it. And the other thing that I think a lot of people have been thinking about, I was talking to Alexio, someone else that we know, someone passed away that we knew was a hard worker as well. I just think at the end of the whole thing, what I came to realize is that the idea of just work, you can enjoy it later, is just not guaranteed. It's just not guaranteed at all, you know? And I think about Kobe Bryant, a guy who dedicated his entire life to the game of basketball, and when he retired, he decided to dedicate his life to his family, and he only got a couple years of doing that. Yeah. So 20 years of just dedication to basketball. You know, we've all read the quotes, the sacrifices. We talk about it here all the time. Like, you got to sacrifice this, you got to give up that. You're going to miss time with family, you're going to miss time with friends to be great. It's all well and good, but, you know, sometimes when you look back on it, is it worth it or is it not? I'm sure if you ask Kobe today, he'd be like, I would have took 1 championship and called it a day at 28, and I would have just spent the rest of the time with my family. Or he might have been like, listen, basketball was everything, and I'm just happy the way I did it. So I don't know, but for me personally, it really made me think, you know, about how other things are important from my perspective.
Yeah. I think that's like for anyone, whether they're a huge sports fan or not. Like, to be very honest, I'm not a huge sports fan, and like, death is a sad thing regardless. Mm-hmm. But like, that level of coming back and thinking about mortality and knowing like, hey, like, tomorrow is not promised. You know, nothing is promised, nothing's guaranteed. So like, that I think hits with a lot of people. Most people, I think, can agree with that. You know, it's just like, live life, do what you have to do, and like, appreciate it.
Yeah,
I agree. He was my first jersey I ever had.
Of course, mine too. Everybody.
First jersey.
I wish I still had one. I would have worn it.
Yeah, I would have worn it too.
I probably have it somewhere in the. Do you have the 8 jersey? That's right. I was a little young for that. Yeah, I still have my own.
I'd have to cut out the 8 and put it on my shirt.
But you know, Kobe Bryant is like everybody. Like, you didn't even have to know anything about basketball, but you had that jersey as a kid, and like Kobe Bryant is just transcendent of the game of basketball. I was thinking like the other day, I was like, just looking at statistics. First of all, it's a crying shame the guy only won 1 actual MVP. Did you know that? Like, you know, LeBron wins every year. He only won 1, which is weird. But he won, you know, obviously the 5 championships, multiple Finals MVPs. you know, coming back and doing it again with the Lakers. So like a great career. If you look at Tim Duncan, you know who that is? No idea. So Maheen just shook her head if you're listening. If Tim Duncan had passed away, it would have affected me a little bit. Probably Maheen not at all, if you even heard about it, and maybe Alexia a little bit because he knew him. But we're not big basketball. I'm not. Are you big basketball?
I'm not a huge basketball fan.
Yeah, I
love Tim Duncan.
But I love Tim Duncan too. Yeah.
When you
Fundamentals
think Tim Duncan, I think of Larry Bird.
No,
okay.
no, different time period. Same time period as Kobe, and that's my point. Is like he was so transcendent that arguably Tim Duncan had just as good a career. 5 championships with Greg Popovich. I think more MVPs, more Finals MVPs. But there was just something about the Mamba mentality, what Kobe Bryant represented to people just across any industry. I think was just so much different than. And he wasn't just a basketball player. You know, he was Kobe. That's it. Just one word. Kobe fucking Bryant. So, you know, I don't know him. I know like people like to say that on Facebook. I didn't even know him. But, you know, when something like that happens, like Michael Jackson passed away, I didn't know Michael Jackson either. My mom didn't know him either, but she was pretty upset about it. I wasn't that upset because it's not my generation.
Selena.
Right.
But this is Selena, right? A huge one. When Selena died, people are upset, like in tears. Princess Diana, you know, and it's not about whether you know them or you don't know them.
Right.
It's just about like the fragileness of life and like how you look at these people, like they're different than the rest of us. When they, you know, yesterday somebody made a good point. They said, you know, a week ago you would have looked at the Bryants and been like, those are the luckiest kids on the planet. And then today you'd be like, those are the most unlucky kids on the whole planet. Like I would rather be anyone else but them.
Father on a daughter one day.
Sister.
One time.
My sister died, I would be freaking out.
Oh.
It's terrible. My little sister, it's horrible. And so just how fragile everything really is. I don't think it's about like, I'm not sitting here crying like, oh, I'll never be able to see Kobe again. That's not, I don't think why people are upset. So if you carry that opinion, like I think you should just get a little bit more empathetic and realize that people are just upset at just how fragile it is. And if a guy like that didn't come out of those flames carrying, somebody said that, like I just kind of expected him to drag himself out of the helicopter carrying his daughter like on pure will because it's Kobe fucking Bryant. Yeah. But, you know, crash a helicopter into a mountain, doesn't matter who you are. You're going to go down. So it's sad. That's all the time I really want to spend on it. Rest in peace to the great one. Sure. Truly a legend. But moving on, because we got a lot of stuff going on.
We do have a lot of stuff going on.
Shout out to my girl Billie Eilish, because it's not part of In My Opinion. So she cleaned up.
She did clean up. What did she take away? 6 Grammys?
5 or 6 Grammys. But she cleaned up all major awards.
All 4 of the major. The youngest to get all 4 major awards. She took home 5 in total. And now that we are talking about it, in my opinion, I love the fact that she like was so humble about it and was almost like, no, like Beyonce should win, or someone that like Ariana Grande, you're great. Like
she didn't even want it.
She didn't even want it, but I also think it's because we're not we in this room, but we as society are so shitty and shit on people for doing a great job, where she was almost like, don't give me this attention because now I'm gonna have a target on my back.
Yeah, I don't want to fall into this group of commercialized jerk-offs in Hollywood. It's kind of like she had that idea. She's young, you know, and I get it. Like I see how people like act. Like I just noticed like my natural ability to be PC is comparison to my father. Like that, it's just like you grow up in this way, and she grew up in a way where she was like, oh, everybody rips on people once they win. Like I don't want to be a fucking sellout. And then she starts winning, and she's like, how do I avoid being a sellout? You know, and you don't avoid it. Sell the fuck out, Billy. That's what it's about. Go get that bread, dog. I'm a sellout. They can sell me out. I'll start talking like I'm a fucking lefty lunatic if you pay me enough.
She made that whole album in her brother's room.
Yeah.
Her brother's a genius. That guy, he makes the music. She doesn't really do much. She's just a singer. Like she sings well. But like all those little like cuts and shit, like I'm the bag, and she like growls. He told her that. She said that was corny, and he's like, no, you're gonna do it anyway.
I've seen all those interviews.
The brother's really cool. They seem like a good family. One issue I had with Billie is I saw a video of her Complex picking out sneakers. And she said that when she was a kid, she went to a thrift store and they didn't have any money, and she got a pair of Jordans. I'm like, wow, that's a great story. You know, I'm trying to figure out how a 17-year-old girl from a lower middle class family or a poor family figured out how to sing and produce and all that stuff. So it freaked me out. So I searched her on Wikipedia. She was raised by 2 musicians, one a prominent actor. They were loaded. So there was no sad rags to riches story. I don't know where Billie got this idea from, but her mom is a very famous actor, pretty famous actress.
She's homeschooled.
Yeah. She's rich.
She just didn't have any money.
That's how she got to where she is, because her mom put her into music when she was a day old. Like that makes sense, you know. I'm always enamored when someone just has the skill and the parents don't push them, but for some reason they see it in themselves. Like that's a crazy story. It's not that I don't like Billie. I mean, I just shout her out for no reason. I love Billie. But she's not that. That's not what she is, unfortunately. You know, she's a test tube baby. They fucking turned her into that. Like, you know, there's a difference between test tube athletes and just freak athletes. You know, like test tube athletes
coming out of nothing,
coming from nothing, just doing it yourself, and then test tube athletes is the fucking father that just creates an athlete, like regardless of the choices of that kid, regardless of the choices. And I feel like she's like a test tube singer. She's not really a natural. She ain't Jay-Z, so get out of here with all that nonsense. Or Beyonce, or any, like, Beyonce was just hanging with her girls.
I think she's both, honestly. I think she has all this
that.
natural talent, and she's also raised in that environment where her parents are creative.
She's got plenty of natural talent, but what I'm saying is, like, Beyonce, Jay-Z, like, Jay-Z had to drag himself out of the streets and realize his talent, but Beyonce had to convince herself that she really was that good, and she shouldn't just be. I think she was working, like, a fast food restaurant, is like her little rag story when they created the group, and then...
She was like 14.
Yeah, she was young, but she had to decide that for herself. Her mom wasn't some singer who was like, "You're really good," you know. So I'm sorry I just started ripping on Billie, but good for Billie. I love Billie. I love Billie Eilish. I love Billie Eilish, but yeah, enough lying about having money.
Oh man, enough about you got money, Billie. It's
you got money, Billie. It's okay to say you do.
So we'll move on to other topics, in my opinion. We did talk about Kobe, and we said we were gonna stop, but we lied to you. We're gonna move on to.
But this isn't about Kobe. This is about some sick fuck.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys. I'm sure some of you guys know who Ari Shaffir is. Super funny comedian. I actually like his comedy. I
personally don't. You know.
I think he's funny as hell. He's definitely specific, right?
Yeah, he's very
either like him or you hate him.
I don't hate him. I just don't think he's that funny.
And he came up with this video. I'm gonna let you watch it, and then you guys could give me your opinion.
Have you seen this?
I've seen it.
Oh, that's disgusting.
My God, I'm here in Charlotte. There's always a lot of like pain in the world. There's always a bunch of terrible stories, and every once in a while, there's a good story. Good story comes out. The guy who got away with rape got his today.
Oh, I can't watch it.
Kobe Bryant is a god. I'm here in Charlotte, the home of the team that originally drafted him. Maybe he wouldn't have ripped that chicken Denver if he'd stayed in Charlotte with the Hornets. But anyway, the point is, dude, it's like, as I know, there's always a lot of...
Yeah.
Oh my god, just disgusting. Like, clearly all you do is read Wikipedia, Ari. I don't think he's that funny. Honestly, it's got to be questioning Mr. Rogan a bit. He loves this guy. Thinks he's the greatest human being. Like Joe Rogan literally talks about Ari Shaffir like he is the greatest human being ever lived. Him, Joey Diaz, and that's about it. Joe Rogan talks up Ari and Joey Diaz all the time. Hates on Bert, who's actually a good guy. Hates on Tom a little bit, even though they're just like friends. But rips that guy Bert Kreischer up, even though Bert Kreischer's like a good dude. And then like this guy is your champion. Like he backs him. Like this is his champion, Ari Shaffir. Yeah. He has not come out and said anything against him yet. I don't know. Just double questioning Joe. It just reminded me when I was watching it. Like why hasn't he said how big of a piece of just because rewatching like this is a piece of shit. If my friend said that, I'll just be like, that guy's a piece of shit. He's not my friend anymore.
Well, it's also. I
get it's for outrage.
Right, because like I've never heard of him before this entire incident, and I probably would never have unless he did something like this.
Yeah,
so,
but
like,
this is the problem. This is the problem. He's not a shock comic. He is a no-name comic. He's a comic who does not want to be. He doesn't want to be Dave Chappelle. He's a very garage kind of comic. He does his very small podcast. He sells tickets to his fans, but he's not Bill Burr. And I don't think he wants to be, or at least he doesn't act like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't act like a guy. He didn't come out like a Kevin Hart and then do something like that. Kevin Hart from the get-go, you knew, had a plan and a goal to be the biggest comedian on the planet. You could just tell by the size of his shows and how he got himself everywhere. Ari's not like that, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to be like, well, let's give him a break because it got him a lot of views or a lot of people know who he is now. If he was a person who acted like he cared that people knew who he was, I'd probably give him more benefit of the doubt. But since he acts the complete opposite all the time, like he does nothing for attention.
I haven't seen anybody trying to give him a break.
Nobody's giving him a break. Nobody's giving him a break. His friends are throwing him under the bus.
What's his statement about it?
Nothing.
What did he say?
Nothing.
He
took it down, but you know how it is.
Rappaport already reposted it, so it's stuck on Rappaport now. That's why he searched Rappaport to get it. Because Michael Rappaport, another actor, comedian, Michael Rappaport has his own issues, but he's a liberal fuck, hates Trump, all that kind of stuff. But he came out and just immediately was like, "You're the biggest piece of shit ever." Now here's the real issue with the video: is he keeps saying like I looked into the rape or whatever. This guy's a rapist. Like, clearly you didn't. Like, why wouldn't you look at that information before opening your stupid mouth?
Read into it.
Like, this was a chick who had multiple instances of money grabs, saying people raped them that didn't. Multiple instances. It wasn't just Kobe. The courts found the same exact evidence, that there was no evidence of rape, no evidence of false, unconsensual sex. And then at the end of it, Kobe made a statement saying, like, listen, I can see how maybe she thought in her head it wasn't consensual. In my head and in the situation that I was in, it was 100% consensual, and there was no way for me to know if it wasn't. But I'm not going to sit here and say what she thought and what she didn't, because she's allowed to think whatever she wants. So he was even nice about it. He could have just been like, she's a money-grabbing hoe who does this all the time, and she just wanted money. And everybody would have accepted that too. But he decided to say, like, hey, she might be a little crazy, basically, is what he said. And so if you really looked into it, I mean, like, Ari Shaffir is this guy who's, like, all about, like, don't cancel Louis C.K. for what he did. Don't be part of cancel culture. Don't be part of cancel culture. You are walking example of cancel culture. That's what you just did. You canceled Kobe Bryant right down to his deathbed because of a rape that he got found innocent for 10 years earlier, 15 years earlier.
Yeah.
Most pathetic idea in the whole... Like, it's not even funny. There's no comedy to it. There's no truth to it. There's no anything to it. It's literally a disgusting video of a guy with a smug face.
I mean, again, I think he just did it so that people like me who would never have heard of him just get some sort of
but he's not a dumb guy. Are you going to listen to his comedy?
He's a pretty smart guy.
Do you think anybody who's newly heard of him is going to listen to his comedy? Or
maybe, possibly. You know, some people fall into the rabbit hole really quickly.
Well, they said he does that a lot. Like, when people die, he'll say some weird shit about them. He'll try to pull... He's a liberal, so he cancel culture. Yeah, he tries to... Character, he says it's him. He doesn't say it's anybody else. I think that's just how he feels. I think he's a person who is willing to take all your accomplishments away because he feels like he's better than you are. Which, if you listen to him on Rogan, that's how he is. He fucking drugged Bert Kreischer on a podcast in front of his kids and his wife. Dropped a Molly in his drink without telling him. The guy's freaking out on his own podcast. His best friend.
That's not fun.
Guy wouldn't talk to him. He's like, his wife, the guy Bert forgave him. Guy Bert's wife says, I'll kill him if I see him. Don't even bring him around the house.
Never bring him again.
Should never bring him around. He's not my friend
like
anymore.
Somebody else taking Molly without them knowing.
And he was taking other medication for his heart.
And he thought it was funny. Ari thought it was funny to the last minute. When Joe's even there, like, come on, bro. Like,
until Joe started saying, then he started taking it back.
Because he'll listen to anything Joe says. That's why it's going to take, like, Joe Rogan to bring this guy's career back. If Joe Rogan doesn't want this guy to have a career again, then he won't. It's going to be all... Dude, they said that there's a bigger bump in polls of Joe Rogan back you than anyone else in the world right now. They said Joe Rogan backed Bernie, shot him through the roof.
Shot him, now he's ahead.
Joe Rogan is literally the word you want, which is what that's our goal. In 4 years.
And all Joe Rogan, he had a conversation with someone else going like, I would probably vote for him. And it was just a small...
Oh my God, you said out of
a 2-hour podcast, almost a 3-hour podcast, it was this little 10-second snippet going like, yeah, I'd probably, out of everybody, I'd probably vote for him.
He said, and his reasons were good. Is he was consistent. He fucking did this, and then somebody had to post some nonsense lies underneath it, or Joe Rogan's an asshole for this, that, and the other thing. They're just Elizabeth Warren fans, that's what happens. Like the Democrats will rip each other's throats out to win. They don't give a fuck. They hate Trump. They hate fucking Bernie. Elizabeth Warren hates Bernie Sanders just as much as she hates Donald Trump. Yeah. Maybe more, because Bernie Sanders is a direct representation of whether she gets to run or not. And you can tell. It's obvious that the Democratic Party does not, to me, it's not obvious. To me, it looks as though the Democratic Party could care less about the future of the country, and all they're worried about is getting a W. Straight up and down.
Seriously.
I don't see one person, Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard sounds and looks as though she cares about her job if she gets it.
She's not. I really want her to, but...
Andrew Yang's another one.
Anything new, anything different.
No, the boomers have the control.
Anything.
The liberal boomers are going to vote Warren. They're not going to vote Bernie because they think he's too socialist, and Bernie has established himself as a young person's candidate, even though he's the oldest candidate running. Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, and fucking Schoonberg. Get him out of here. Yeah. He's not even going to make it through, even though I'm so glad... I don't know what his spoon is. Yeah. I don't know what it is either.
He's talking about Bloomberg, by the way.
yeah, fucking Scroogeberg. Can't drink big drinksberg. Fucking Socialist Manifesto Bloomberg. You know who I'm talking about. But no, like Bloomberg is somebody, he's out. But whatever. Biden and Elizabeth Warren are the Democratic boomsticks fucking champion. That's who that's the only people they'll back. And they're gonna win. That's how it's gonna work. But hopefully if Joe Rogan just keeps talking about Bernie, we get Bernie Trump, and that would be cool. For me, I'll have to listen to Bernie a little bit. Because maybe right now
Bernie's scared of you.
he scares you,
like it.
but I like the fear. Yeah.
Do you remember I came out of my rabbit hole and I'm like, I think I'm a democratic socialist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
he's
you
a little
let
socialist,
me
but when
talk
you
me
hear,
through.
what I just think is that there's too many checks and balances for him to push too much socialist stuff through.
Yeah.
And I think he really cares about the country.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
If I was gonna argue for Bernie, that's what I would say is that there's no way he's gonna get all of these socialist views into play.
No, hopefully just get us through college. Clear me 40 grand worth of debt.
Yeah, at the
So I
same
can buy a
time
fucking
too,
house.
I don't know about.
Now, honestly, what it's looking like to
Extra
me,
taxes.
and you can ostracize me if you want, the best option is Donald Trump. That's it. That's the best option. That's the best option, bro.
I like what you're sounding.
He just threw up in a garbage can. If you're not watching on YouTube, he just puked in a garbage can with it.
But I feel like that sound that she just made is the views of most people where they're looking at their candidates and they're going like, oh, these are the fucking guys that we have. I don't like that guy, but
I hate this guy.
Can we pop up the Democratic poll numbers?
Yeah.
Really quick. Yeah, no, it's I you know what? Trump I hate how he speaks. I just hate how he represents himself as a human being. But I give him a lot of credit. I mean, he is eating this impeachment.
I love your dyslexia.
yeah,
That's my
like,
favorite
especially here, I'm just like, which word goes
22
letter?
right there at the top.
Which letter goes
I hate
next?
real clear. Real clear is not good, but whatever. Bernie's
What do we
plus
got?
14. Where's the percentages? I'd rather just have the percentages.
I don't know.
Because Peter Gutenberg or whatever his name is up there too. Go back. There's better numbers. There's better. What's this? There's a guy's name who does the best one. Scroll down. Not real clear. Project 530. I don't know. Just click that one. Project 538. See if they
This one?
Yeah, just see if they have percentages. That's all I want to see. Alright, there it is. So Biden right now is polling at 23%. Bernie bumped up to 30%. And then Biden, the 23 is as high as he's ever gotten. Why doesn't this have everybody?
This is through dates. So most recently, it's Biden at 23, Bernie at, and then.
Why are these so confusing? There's no like good ones, but just poll percentages per candidate.
Because it's added today, added yesterday. They do this all the time.
Let me see. Gotta know how to use this here, Google.
This is Google stuff. Look
You
at
gotta be
this
good
one.
at this.
Look at this one. Look at this one.
Alright, perfect. This has all of them? Alright, perfect. So there you go. So Bernie might have ducked, I guess. This one, they're all hit or miss. Like, you can't really tell what's real and what's not. So right now, currently, and we'll put this on the YouTube so you can see it. We'll pop this same clip
On the YouTube.
But but we got, alright, so we got Joe Biden nationally polling at 26%, Bernie Sanders 23%, Elizabeth Warren 15% on her way down. Peter Buttigieg, I was way wrong. He dumped from up in the 20s to now at 8%. Michael Bloomberg on his way up, 7%. And then Andrew Yang and Amy Klobuchar are both at 4%. Everybody else, Tulsi Gabbard's polling less than 1%.
Bernie.
Listen, Tulsi, you took a shot not voting with impeachment. You didn't run with it hard enough. You didn't do a good enough job. Yeah, she got really quiet, and so it didn't work.
The thing is, none of these people here, from Amy all the way to Michael, have the funds.
Yeah, no, they
just
don't.
not generate.
Well, actually,
Bernie, all Bernie did was say, hey, he put out a video recently saying, hey, I need some more help financially, and he racked it. Look at how much money he has compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
Look at that help from your community.
Individual contributions are 36.
For sure.
Look at Bernie. Bernie's got 61 million.
61.5 million.
And this Pete Buttigieg guy, well, Pete Buttigieg is actually, not that it matters, but he's gay, so he has like all that community, and so they back him. He has a big backing, like that's why, because he's not a bad candidate either. I'm not just saying like he only has a back because he's gay, but I'm saying he does have a huge backing. Like all these people have their people that are putting the money.
Those gays have a lot of money.
They got money. Elizabeth Warren, she's getting all female.
You know why?
Because they're not allowed to adopt children. So
Because they don't have no kids.
Yeah, exactly. They keep it all, and plus they all get the same side. So, anyways, but Elizabeth Warren, she has all female boomsticks, and anyone who doesn't like Biden.
They got the same
I don't
side.
know what that means.
Because men make more money than women.
Yeah, but I'm kidding, that's actually not true, but we can get into that another time. That's actually not true at all.
It's the pay gap.
Yeah, there's no pay gap. As a matter of fact, I just saw a stat that in most positions, if a woman works for as long and as many hours as a man, they usually make more for each position. But whatever, that's a conversation for a different day. So right now, Biden's actually polling the highest, but Bernie's right up on his ass thanks to Joey Rogan. And yeah, we endorse Tulsi, so obviously our word means
Yeah.
We
influenced.
to a Bernie supporter.
We influenced the
he's,
Reese.
he's a Bernie supporter
The
now.
first time he was running, I was, and this time I just didn't know if he was going to actually have a chance.
Oh, he's got a shot. This is the best shot he's had.
Oh, he's the best shot, yeah, because there's no Clinton involved this time.
This is the best shot he's had. Yeah, Hillary. Oh my god, I can't believe that.
Yeah.
But like, yo, those people win because the boomers just stick to what they know. I've heard of Joe Biden. They click that button.
For sure.
That's it. Like, I've heard of him, yeah. Who's just Andrew Yang, all these young yippies. No.
He's honestly probably the worst one
Who?
out of
Biden.
Biden, yeah.
By far the worst.
He's just more known.
He's just more of the same.
Every single speech he drops the Obama word.
Oh, he wants to bring Michelle on as a running mate, and that's gonna go
course,
through the roof,
of
dude.
course.
He'll definitely win the primary
Yeah.
if he brings her on, for sure, 100%. Imagine Michelle Obama vice president. Would that be the first female vice president? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hillary was never vice president.
No.
Oh.
Nice.
She was the Secretary of State.
Yeah, she's next in line. That's what.
Yeah.
And
Pelosi
a
is.
woman of color.
And a woman.
And a woman. Yeah.
I'm hoping.
And tall as shit.
And this could be controversial. This will
Pretty
definitely
nice
be
arms.
controversial.
Pretty nice arms.
We got to get the first. We got to get all these firsts out of the way, so we can get that garbage out of here and just start picking the best people.
Oh my god.
For real.
Yeah, I know, right?
For
Honestly,
real.
it's pretty true.
Like, you
I
just threw
just
that
said,
in
"Oh my
there.
God."
You just threw it in there. And you said, oh my god.
Yeah.
You just threw it in there. You're like, and person of color. Like, how about just best woman for the job?
Yeah,
That sounds like a great reason.
Because I feel like a lot of people are voting for, the first,
The first
of
of
this,
this,
or the
first of
first
that. And look at
this
look
first
at our
gay
country,
dude.
for Jesus Christ's
Yeah,
sake.
this first trans person, just like, let's
Nah, get these first out of the way
way.
so we can just start picking the winner.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
this is ridiculous.
Well, why can't we just rely on us to just pick the best person? It just
We can.
happens to
We really
also
can,
be
honestly.
inclusive.
I don't believe that we can
I just
rely
wanna
on
be
us.
in-
No, we
inclusive.
can, but it can't be, hey, the woman didn't win because she's a woman. It has to be always, the woman didn't win because she's not as good. And when a woman wins, it has to be, the woman didn't win because she's a woman. She won because she's better. That has to be, once that rhetoric starts flying through the world, it's going to take some time, but slowly but surely we'll become more equal. But as if for every day we're going to talk about black this, white that, girl this, trans that, we're all going to be separate. We're all separate. Honestly, I feel like because I have like a lot of friends from a lot of different races, cultures. I don't really like people, so I don't see color. Like, I'm not blind, I can see people's color, but I never judge them on it because it's just how I grew up. Like, I'm not blind, dude. I can tell you're Chinese, you're Asian for sure.
I don't
But
see gender or color unless I.
but I just don't have a prejudice toward it. I just wasn't.
Then I can see both.
I was raised to actually have a prejudice. I was raised to have a prejudice towards them, but I just didn't. Anyways, my point being, before you cut me off so rude. My point being is like none of that shit makes a difference in who's good and who's bad.
100%. I
None of that
agree.
shit
It
makes
just
a
so
difference.
happens that if for whatever reason, if Michelle Obama ends up in office somehow, in some way, shape, or form, can we just agree that it's because she's fucking Michelle Obama? Like, that's why.
She's fucking Michelle Obama.
Right, because she's Michelle Obama or whatever her maiden name was. How about that? I like that even better. Because she's that person.
Right.
I feel like
Not because she's a black woman. That's what you said.
I don't even
You said black woman. I didn't say
I
that.
did not say
You did.
that. I
She
said
didn't say
woman
because.
of
Yes,
color.
she said.
I said she would
She
also
would be the first black woman.
Exactly.
First woman vice president, and she goes,
Woman of
and
color.
also woman of color.
And
Like,
also
no,
woman of
none of
color.
that
Not
matters.
because.
Okay, I'm just happy.
All right.
Let's get that
Well,
vibe.
let's-
That shouldn't. That's the problem. No, but for real, that's the problem. It shouldn't make you happy, or it shouldn't make you any more or less happy to know
Well,
that a woman of color won
here's
the
the
position.
thing,
You should be happy that the best
Hold
person
on,
won
Nick.
the position.
Hold on, Nick.
Right?
Hold on.
Right?
Let me try to break this down to you though.
Right?
Even me, who agrees with you,
Right?
would be more pumped if there was this amazing Mexican dude who
Of
was
course you
awesome
would.
for the job because he'd be the first.
Yeah.
That's the reason why. You've just seen a lot of your people up there, so for you it
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
matter.
over. Yeah.
For us, it'd be like, that's a big fucking dude. This is Mexican. I'm not even Mexican.
Actually, none of my
But-
none of
Call
my
yourself
people.
Mexican?
Oh yes,
Oh,
yes.
All the time. I think it's funny.
No Italian has ever been president. So none of my people.
None of your
Nobody who's
people.
immigrated from Italy has ever become president. So none of my people have been presidents.
Wait, you're purely Italian?
Italian and Irish, but like a very little,
But
15% Irish.
Pierre.
Yeah, I know.
Pierre.
Got changed when he came over to Ellis Island. It
Weird.
used to be DePieri, D-P-I-R-I-D apostrophe.
And some guy was like, Pierre.
Pierre it is, like
Yeah.
all the French people. This is too much, yeah, they changed it.
Yeah.
Some people still go by Peary, especially back in the old country, they go by it. So like when we connect, like anybody that does like the ancestry, the people that we touch in the old country have different names than we
What do you think they would have changed to Bonnie to?
Well, this wasn't
Smith.
supposed to be my last name.
What?
My dad's one of 15 kids. He was the 12th out of the 15.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, everybody else's last name is Hassan.
Why did he take Sabani?
Okay, so this is really what happened. My grandparents had a lot of daughters after, like, all their sons, and they had a bunch of daughters in a row.
Yeah.
They wanted another son, so they, like, went to some holy man, and they were like, if we have a son, whatever you tell us, we'll do it. If we have a son, we'll name him after you.
And so your father was like the blessed child that was
Yeah.
named after the guy?
Some blessing, yeah.
Sick. That's fucking sick. That's like my 600-pound life. Dr. Now goes
How?
by
Please tell me how.
Dr. Now, but his real name is Dr. Nausargarden or Nausarden or something.
Oh, yeah!
Same with
That little
our friend's
cute little
guy.
man.
I mean,
Yeah.
but he went by just the beginning part, the end part of their name. Like they have a big long name, and he just went by the end part. Fatah. That was it. Because it's easy to say. The whole name was like long.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of people do that when they come over, but that's not what happened to your dad.
No.
But on 600-Pound Life, check out my homie, Dr. Now. I love this guy. He came over, he still got the accent. I could just picture what his brain says to him. He's like, these fat Americans, I make millions of dollars. Fat Americans. You're still fat, you're out of my program. He kicks people out of his program and shit.
Out, yeah.
Oh, it's great, dude. If you don't lose enough money for lose enough weight for Dr. Now, he says, you're not serious, you're not on my program. Goodbye. Well, please, Dr. Now. I give you 3 months, you lose 75 pounds or you leave.
Yeah.
And dude, millions this guy makes just getting people from obese about to die to acceptable weight. Like his goals for people are from like 800 to 220. Like these are the goals he sets. Obviously through gastric bypass and a lot of different procedures, but you have to qualify to get his gastric bypass. You can go get it from anybody, but if you want it done by Dr. Now, he sets up a qualification for you and a goal, and you have to hit it. I mean, and until some of these people, they lose no weight. They're 650 pounds. They lose no weight in 2 months. I mean, you just sitting there eating just decent food. At 600 pounds, you'll float weight right off. There's just so much to lose.
Bread.
To gain weight, you have to be trying really hard to gain more weight from 650 pounds.
Sure.
So that's when he's like, you're not serious, he kicks you out. But he goes by Dr. Now. Everybody calls him Dr. Now. They don't call him Dr. Nausargarden. That's like weird.
Yeah.
But TLC, the Learning Channel, check it. Moving on. What were we just talking about? We went from
I don't know. We literally were talking about Ari Shafir and Kobe to then the Democratic candidates.
Oh, because he's a libtard. That's right.
Whatever.
Cancel culture. You
We'll
do
move
something
on.
wrong, your whole life is over.
We'll move on. I'm sure people want to get an update on the impeachment, and honestly,
It's a Bolton thing.
it's a
Is he
bullshit
coming
thing.
or is he not?
It's still nothing that matters in the world, but I'll tell you, we're 9 days in of a big waste of time. On Friday, they're gonna vote on whether or not they're gonna use the witnesses, and which witnesses, and what they're gonna do. So tomorrow they're gonna have that vote. But when it's all said and done, doesn't matter what happens. The Democrats need something like 12 Republicans to vote on this impeachment.
But how come they only need 4 for the witnesses right now?
I don't know, but
McConnell thinks he didn't have the numbers for the witnesses, but I heard a Democrat from Rhode Island this morning saying he thinks they do. He thinks it's going to be tough for them to get the witnesses. He doesn't think it's happening.
I don't think impeachment's happening.
I'm gonna be honest.
Impeachment.
Like I started reading an article because I wanted to catch up and see what's going on, and like I started reading the article and I was like, okay, cool, makes sense, and then I'm like, I'm so bored. I can't even finish this article. Like I can't even finish thinking about what.
It's just so tedious. It's like, if you're going to impeach the president, it should be pretty cut and dry. Like, the guy got a blowjob in the Oval Office. Okay, makes sense for all of us. We don't want an adultering piece of shit as our president. Okay, fine.
I wouldn't cuss him out for that, but that's fine.
Watergate, like, this guy was literally setting taps and shit in a hotel room so he can listen in on other people so he can beat them. Like, that makes sense. I mean, I'm sorry, but crazy Joe Biden is a corrupt son of a bitch, and nobody's talking about it. Do you realize that? We are impeaching a president for looking up corruption on a man that nobody's talking. They're polling him. He's the highest polled Democratic president, and he is the guy. That's not in question. It's not like, oh, is Biden corrupt or not? That's not what's in question. It's, did Trump look for it to help himself or not? That's what's in question. Why don't we just talk about the truth?
It's the money that was spent to look for it. That's the
money that was withheld.
Mentos.
Now, there's multiple cases of tons of people. They read the transcript.
He's his direct competition in the presidency. So you're using this to get that, so that way your political opponent. So
no, I get how you can skew this to turn it into an impeachment, but in logical using your brain, it doesn't make any sense, because if it was Hillary Clinton's kid he would have done the same thing, withheld the aids to tell me about it.
If Hillary's running against.
No, even if she wasn't running, he would have done the same thing.
I don't know about that.
100%.
I think he would care 100%.
I think like with Trump. The problem with this is that Trump doesn't follow, like, he doesn't think. I feel like he doesn't think 3 steps ahead sometimes. Sometimes I think he's a fucking genius. That
he's like 10 miles ahead, or he's like 10 steps behind.
Yeah. Because he could have easily had this conversation in another way. He could have had someone else have this conversation.
Well, they read the transcript.
And but
the transcript they read it out loud. There was no quid pro quo in it. They did it all over again.
My point is that there's a million ways where he could have had this investigated, but he decided to do this.
He should have just came out publicly with it. And like, listen, I've discovered some new information. I'm running against this guy. Yeah. I'm running against this guy, so I'm really not supposed to dig on the corruption. What do you think, America? What do you think, Congress? Should we look into it?
If I was in his camp, I would have said, hey, put this story out to the New York Times, to whoever. You think these freaking this media is not going to want to?
No, they'll eat that shit up. Yeah.
They'll eat it up. Yeah. They're going to be like, hey, hello, what the hell is this? And then he would be down in the polls. For sure. Instead, he did it himself.
Right, now he's got himself getting impeached.
And just like the next 2 topics we're going to talk about. The next topic we're going to talk about, just the way he words things and the way he goes about it is really to his detriment. It makes people like me and people like me.
No, I know. That's my point, though. That's why you can't sell me on the fact that he strictly did it to beat Biden. First of all, when he did it, the call, Biden wasn't even running yet. So that's retarded. And then the time in which he may have known, he may have not. All right, that's an opinion, though. Like, impeaching presidents based on opinions is not good. Point over. Period. It's bad. It's bad. Even the Rhode Island Democrat was saying it today, but he didn't know what he was saying. He goes, yeah, well, we have to get the Judiciary Party involved. This is going to be the only impeachment where the House hasn't brought witnesses to the Supreme Court. Like, do you realize what you just said, sir?
I don't think adultery would be impeachable.
I was going to say, I was waiting for you to go back to what you were saying, because that's an opinion.
That's an opinion, yeah.
Yeah, but there was some other reason why they fucking did it, because he lied about it or something. They lied under oath.
He said, he lied under oath.
Right, so whatever.
Yeah, but about a blowjob. Like,
yeah, but
I don't want to admit I got a blowjob.
Yeah, but it's at least more cut and dry. It's like, okay, the guy lied under oath and is an adulterer, and he had other problems leading up to it, and there was a year investigation into it before they actually impeached him. Yeah, but there was a lot of investigation, a lot of witnesses, a lot of this, a lot of that, a lot of Supreme Court, all that stuff. For a Democratic senator to come out and straight up say, yeah, the House did it wrong, and not realize what he's saying, I mean, it just goes to show you, like, this whole thing is wrong. Everything about it is wrong. They should take it. They should have taken it all the way back to the House, got their witnesses, did it the right way, sent it to the fucking to the Senate, and done it the right way. They're just trying to backtrack now to kill time, to drag this thing out to the election, to hope that, I don't know, I can get close enough to Adam Schiff to blow his bug eyes out before it happens. I don't know. Is that why they're holding it on for longer? That's what I always think. I'm like, maybe they're just dragging this thing out so I get close enough to Schiff to blow his bug eyeballs out. Just kidding. I'm not threatening Adam Schiff. Yeah, I am, but I won't shoot him.
Oh my
I'll
God.
fist fight him. Any day of the week, any place, any time, and Don Lemon, and I'll do you both at the same time.
Don Lemon.
Those are my 2 least favorite people in the whole world. Right?
Yeah.
Don Lemon and Adam Schiff.
He would probably like you to do him.
Yeah, Don Lemon's a fucking creep. Don Lemon. Dude, I would, no joke, if they ever would invite us to like Politicon or something like that, I will snuff Don Lemon the first time I see him.
I don't think you would.
You want to make a bet?
Yes.
No
Bro,
bet,
5 years
no
from now,
bet.
Alexia's gonna be so mad he said that. She's like, bro, I should have never told him that. There he is, Alexio! We're all kicked out. It's our last trip to Politicon. That's it. We're all done. But they're never allowed back. Nobody listens to our show anymore.
You want to make a bet ahead of time?
Punched on. You're right. We pulled through the roof. I punched on Lemon out at the mall. Politicon too. Our fucking music would go crazy.
Oh man.
But
right,
I can't stand Adam Schiff. This is a waste of time. So what do you got here?
We'll move on to our next topic, which is Trump's new rules about birth tourism. Now, there's one thing that he was running on in 2016 was trying to put some limits on birthright citizenship. People coming here, having babies, and that's a citizen. Which, if your kid is born here, just the fact that he's born here makes him a citizen.
Right.
Anyone born here within our borders is an American citizen. It's in the Constitution. You can't change it unless you're going through some crazy amendment process that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So he got a lot of shit during his running into president because he said birthright citizenship. He wants to put some limitations on it,
right?
Obviously for immigration reasons. But he backtracked on it and he's just left it alone because he got a lot of shit for it. Now he's changing it to birth tourism, which is actually a gigantic business. You could pay companies to set you up in our country. It comes from Europe.
Well, you're Canada, pregnant, yeah. That's what I'm assuming. Have the baby.
Have the baby here. It's an American citizen.
What, do you send it into an orphanage?
You send a mom that's about to pop.
Yeah.
She's staying in a hotel. They set her up with which hospital she's gonna go to and everything.
Right.
And then you have a baby
and
here.
And then obviously the mom has to go back, and the kid stays. What, in like the foster care system?
She could take him back and forth. It's an American citizen.
Oh.
Yeah, so she stays here until a baby could travel.
Why would she want to do that?
So you have an American baby citizen.
What's so great about America? It sucks.
It's called an anchor baby. It doesn't suck. It's amazing.
No, America sucks. We're the worst country ever. We discriminate everyone. We hate women. Men run everything. It's a powerhouse sovereignty. Yeah. Why would you want to have a kid in America? I'm super confused right now. Why would you even do this anchor thing?
Because it's amazing here.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
I couldn't tell. I watched the news. So I didn't know it was good. I thought it was the worst country in the world.
Worst country in the world that everybody wants to be in.
That everyone wants to be in, yeah. 100%. 100%. No, but that makes sense. I mean,
now it does make sense. In some media outlets, it's being viewed as something that makes sense. You know, you don't want... Their numbers are anywhere between 100,000 to 200,000 people born.
Oh, I was saying it makes sense to do that, but it also makes sense to stop it.
Stop it, yeah.
It's absolute exploitation of a law. That's exactly, you're exploiting our country. That's what you're doing. We don't exploit anyone else, just so everybody knows. America exploits no other countries, even though you all think we do, but everyone exploits us, and they never talk about that. It's always America exploits, America exploits.
Yeah, and other media outlets is being viewed as just racist and things like that, but...
So what is it? So keep reading this article.
Yes, I mean it's just, that's what it is. So I just wanted to see.
But what's his law? I'm saying
his law is trying.
No more of it.
So if you are a woman who's pregnant, you're like 7 months, 8 months, or whatever it is, not allowed to come into our country until you have this baby somewhere else.
Oh, that's not even a terrible fix, honestly. I thought it was gonna be worse than that.
Yeah, I don't know what the limitations.
So they're gonna force you in.
They're trying to get you. They're trying to get the details on it.
Because like I thought it'd be worse than that, like to re-amend it. Like, oh, if somebody's on just a passport or visa and they have a baby here, it doesn't count. Like they could have tried to amend it that way.
That's what they're saying that they want to turn it into eventually. They're trying to ease it into just like stopping that first, but the critics of it they're saying that it's gonna eventually turn into that, where if you have a visa here, if you have
they just give you a birth certificate.
If you're just here on vacation or whatever it is,
like a car.
Your baby doesn't count.
If you buy a car in New York and you're from Massachusetts, well, they'll get you Massachusetts plates. It's not a big deal. Like you don't just become a New York citizen because you bought a car in New York. Like, it's not how it works.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
It kind of does make sense. Yeah. Like if you pop up in the hospital, we are America. We'll take that baby out. We won't charge you for it. We'll eat all the bills. But I mean, if we say what's your passport say, and it says Nicaragua, well, Nicaragua is where your baby's from now. Like, it's not that outrageous of a thought. It seems weird though, even saying it, because it's America. It's like if you're born here, you're an American. To me, at least, like. I was born here, who makes me any better? You know, my family came over here illegally. I'm sure they have papers, but like that's what we were called, WAPs. Italians were WAPs, without papers. Everybody used to come over illegally. That's where that term comes from. Yeah, without papers.
I mean, okay, well, I can understand where it's starting from, but where it could possibly turn into, that's kind of terrifying for someone who's on a visa, someone who's on, I don't know.
I wouldn't say terrifying. Why would that be terrifying?
Well, for them.
For them. Right? Because it's,
because their baby doesn't get citizenship in America, what's terrifying?
No, because what if they're going to lose what they're working towards? Like if someone's here on a visa, for example, right? Student visa, work visa, whatever it might be, and they know that they've got limitations as far as how long they're going to be here, and life happens.
That's not what they're saying. No, so you're trying to say that they're going to have to take the baby.
This is later.
So life happens, they get pregnant, have a baby, and now all of a sudden, maybe they do work through, and this person does get citizenship, but now their baby can't have citizenship unless that baby they apply for citizenship for that baby. It's a long process to get citizenship. I've watched people in my family go through it.
My answer is boo-hoo. I mean, why is it scary though?
Because I've watched family members.
This is the problem. So it shouldn't be scary to go back to your own country. we need to fix these countries. That's what's terrifying. It's terrifying that there are people that are terrified. It's not their fault. It's not the individual's fault. But it's never a topic of conversation. Why is it terrifying for a person to have to take them and their baby back to their own country?
Because think about the years and years.
That's the problem, though.
Yeah, but that's not that person's thing, you know. So.
But it shouldn't be an American problem.
Hold on.
No. It could be an okay place to live, but they're choosing to move their life here, right? So I'm specifically thinking about my own family, like specifically choosing to move their life here and create a life. And for example, my uncle and aunt bought restaurants, bought businesses, gave back to society.
Of course.
It took 15 years for them to get citizenship.
Good, and they did it the right way.
They did it the right way. However, 15 years of waiting, worrying, figuring out whether they could or could not possibly get citizenship in this country, or be sent back, and then restart at the age of 50, 60 years old.
They sound like good people to me.
But so who determines that?
What a good person and a bad person is?
But again, you're just deciding that just because they sound good, okay, great, it worked out for them. What about all the people that this would affect? This would affect people in those exact people.
And so she brings up the point of it is that where is that line and who's making that decisions and how are those decisions made? Because what is going to be the percentage of people that are being accepted, you know, from this country or that country, and you know, it could turn weird. You know, it's happened in the past where you're only allowing, you know, certain people to come in, and
we do it less than everyone else does.
For sure,
but, But no, 100%, and it could turn into that. I just there's not a huge population issue in this country. It's not that big of a deal. Like, people are not dying from like overcrowding. So that's why sometimes when he jumps all over this border, blah blah blah, like he makes it like immigration is this huge issue in this country, where it's kind of not that huge of an issue. Like, it could be worse, you know what I mean? Like, if we were being bombarded,
for sure.
Yeah, if it was just ridiculous where like you walk down the road and 3 out of 5 people are fucking illegal, like 9 supposed to be here, like that's when you put intense laws on what needs to be done. But I think as long as we don't block anyone, so that's why I hate the Muslim ban, but we already went through that a couple episodes ago. I think it's stupid. You don't ban anybody. You want to ban somebody, you just ban the warring country. All of Syria, you're all banned until the war's over. That makes a lot of sense. Like, that's what every country does. But what I think needs to happen is that we need to make it open. Anybody from any country can come here and immigrate here, but they have to do the process right. And I think this is just a way to remove a loophole. Like, remove a loophole so they all are fucked like your family was fucked. That's not fair that your family got fucked for 15 years because they wanted to do it right, but some guy can slide over here from fucking wherever, bumblefuck, Guam, and have his baby here and then trick the system into getting himself, and boom, and they're in there and ready to go in 3 years, sending money back to wherever. And your family did it the right way, opened up restaurants, kept the money inside the country. It's not fair to punish people like your family just because it's terrifying. They might have it's not terrifying. You're just going back to your country. There's nothing terrifying about that.
And to them, it's
what?
Yeah. To them, it's terrifying. To
no,
them, it's just years of wait.
I mean, we need to fix the world. Then the world needs to fix itself.
Fix the world.
Right. But we can keep the bad ones out of our country. There has to be some kind of self-preservation in America. That's my point.
For sure.
We have to at some point care about ourselves.
Which brings me to the next topic, which is the wealth test. Now, this is even more controversial.
Seems silly,
It does seem silly, but I don't know, man. It makes a lot of sense just because you're letting people come into this country. These are people who might.
Sorry.
Go ahead. So, is this your coffee? I think it's continuing a coffee break. But these are people who have applied or, you know, are going through the process, and based off of whatever criteria they're setting, they're saying that, you know, you could come in because you are not going to be a burden on society, on the taxpayer. We're not going to have to give you Medicaid, food stamps, Section 8, SSI, you know, all this other, you know, an Obama phone.
Assistance, all that help.
You know, you have to make a certain amount of money in order to come here and possibly become a citizen. What do you think?
So, okay. Before I even jump the gun and start talking about, like, the thing that really,
This
really
doesn't apply
bothers
for the
me.
Mexicans, right?
Everyone is supposed to.
Oh, well. It
So
can
what's
apply
the
for
amount of
everybody
money?
but the Mexicans, because we're fucked without them. I don't care how much money, they can always come.
What's the amount of money that they have to make? Is it per individual?
They don't
per
have.
family?
They don't have like. It is something that they're trying to turn into.
Oh, speaking of money, before I forget, just a quick correction corner from last week. We talked about being based off of bail being based off of your income. It has nothing to do with your income. It's just no bail.
Just no bail.
No bail for anybody. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. Yeah,
That's
just no bail. So sorry, that was my correction. But so what is the income?
Here's the.
If the household income of an immigrant trying to come to the U.S. is less than 125% of the federal poverty guidelines, or 21 grand for a couple, they could also be at risk of being denied entry. The Department of Homeland Security said it would use that threshold as one of several factors when deciding whether to admit an immigrant to the U.S. Immigrants, what? I hate when they can't write. Like, why are you writing blogs if you can't write?
This is PBS.
With twice that income. Like, PBS, grow up, dude. Get a life. Let me just read it straight up. Whether to admit an immigrant to the U.S. immigrants with twice that income or 250% of the federal poverty guidelines would be given higher preference. That is not even English.
21,550.
But that's what we got from that. So 21 grand. So what do they want to see? They want to see let's say you're coming from Mexico, just easy example. And you know I love the Mexicans, and I hope that this doesn't apply to them. If it does, I'm fighting it. It should apply to every other country in the whole fucking world except for Mexico.
It's obviously not the case.
But it should. That's how Nick's America runs. It's completely unfair, and it's all biased based on my opinions. Right? Just like my show.
So here's the thing. If somebody's coming from the Netherlands, in Europe, you're making euro. It's basically the same.
They'll do the ratio.
Conversion.
It's basically the same conversion. You know, a household over there could probably make that no problem. A couple, no problem.
But not in Mexico. Like that's why I use Mexico as the example.
Hondurans, Mexicans.
Ecuador, Salvador, they're paying nickels. You get a nickel a day.
You're not making 21 grand.
Yeah, hard work. Good job, Alexia. This is how it works.
Buddy.
This is how it works in Ecuador. Good work, buddy.
I'm gonna keep that too.
It's cool. I used to do this. Yeah, I used to do this in middle school. I used to put your hand up. I'm saying I'm giving up.
In middle school?
I would walk away. I would walk away.
Did you see your dad do that?
I would give him like nickels. No, I think it's like my mobstery thing to do. It was just a joke. It was a patronizing joke. I would put like a nickel or a penny in their hand. I would never give them a quarter. What are you nuts? Quarters were for CeeLo, dog. You need to bet your quarters. But nickels I didn't care about, so I gave them one. But I think that this is I think that in those countries it's just impossible. I mean, maybe what we could do it like has to be on some sort of. This is fucking stupid.
What was the word patronize? What was the word patron? Was it?
Was it?
Patron?
No, pretentious.
There you go.
Pretentious, yeah.
Forget it.
Yeah, you guys thought I did that. I didn't do that.
No.
First of all, I couldn't even figure out how to read the review. I couldn't even figure out how to read the entire review, let alone write it. So
they're not gonna know what we're talking about.
No, they won't. You have to keep it in code though. If she still listens, one lady might know, but I didn't write it. Just so you know, if you still listen to the show, man.
Think you did.
No, nobody does.
Nobody does.
Do you know me? Like, how long you know me? You think I'm writing shit on the internet?
Come on. All right.
But regardless, okay, sorry. Insiders, bro. Sorry, guys at home, it's an insider.
You know who's gonna get that? Reese Gibbs.
Yeah, Reese will get it. This is stupid.
Who wants you to stop hitting the table, by the way? Which you're doing a good job on.
I'm trying.
He caught himself and he smiled at I saw you and he looked to see if it made a spike in the sound.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm always just staring at this damn sound. People are probably like, what's on his computer? I just stare at the line.
He's watching porn.
See how high this shit goes. I try to make sure it doesn't get to the top so you guys don't be like... yeah, this is a dumb one.
I agree.
I don't hate the one before it. I mean, because I feel like that was like a loophole people found, and the fact that you said there were like businesses like setting you up in that seems a little sketch. But can we do that in other countries? I'm like super obsessed with a second identity. How can I do this?
So you start tapping the table.
Yeah, I need a second identity. Listen, if you're a listener and you know how I can possibly get a second identity, send it in DMs. Don't put it out publicly.
todayinmillenia@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and if you have like other topics you want us to cover,
yeah, of course.
Any ideas, anything at all, just send it to.
Honestly, you two are impressive. Sometimes I'm like, I hope we get everything in, and then you guys come with your topics, and we get it all in. Like we're usually not behind.
We're doing good.
Yeah, we're usually on.
We are doing it. I feel like we've been talking for a while, but it's okay.
All right, and we gotta get to it. Let's go.
We do gotta get.
Good thing your boy drinks Budweiser.
What does that even mean?
It means I ain't gonna get the coronavirus.
No, we're gonna move on to too far and not far enough.
Oh, okay, then we'll get it.
And then we'll get to the coronavirus.
But I do drink Budweiser. If anybody wants to send someone over this way.
Do you want to explain this?
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean...
Alright, so this is too far, not far enough?
Absolutely. Too far, not far enough.
Literally, I'm going to read the title. There's something called creative dog grooming, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. And I know how I feel about it, but I'll wait to tell you.
I think it's too far, for sure.
I think it's
But I'll show you. So there's this documentary on HBO called Well Groomed, where they do this shit to dogs.
What the fuck is that?
Look.
Dude, please tell me they only
so
do
there's-
it to poodles, right?
No. There's all dogs that have a lot of hair, and there's competitions. All these dogs.
It's
and
like-
they do a
Wait,
lot.
like the
All
Westminster
those
dog
cake
show?
decorating shows
Yeah.
on dogs.
Look at this.
Oh, it is. It's like, dude, putting that dye in that dog's hair cannot be
Not
good.
be
I
good.
am
Look,
not a fan.
this
What
Pokemon,
the fuck, dude? That
the
poor dog.
spraying.
I don't like it.
This isn't good.
They have to stand.
Yes, that is
in this
Pikachu
whole
being
time.
spray painted onto a dog's torso.
Look at this dinosaur
Are
here.
we joking? We'll
Another
post a couple
dinosaur.
pictures with the video.
So they have these dogs standing on these.
They're mostly
tables,
poodles because they're designed better, but there are some other ones.
and
They are
they're-
mostly poodles.
They're creating these works of art, I guess, with the dog's fur.
Yeah, so they're spraying it with
But
inhaler.
they're spraying it, and
They're spraying it with the
cutting
same shit that some people spray into a rag and then huff in so they can get fucked up.
They create these like images onto the dog's fur. So they make it into the shape of a dinosaur, or Pikachu.
It's like, have you ever seen Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just pretend that the
Yes.
bushes are a dog. That's what they
That's
do.
exactly
to be
what
honest,
this is.
if that was
And
the
paint.
extent of it, without the paint, I'd be okay
Yes,
with
the
it.
paint's where I'm thrown off too.
This is crazy though.
Oh my god, it's so good though. Wow, they literally have it on this dog's body. Like, and it is to a T.
It is it.
Like, there is detail in this fucking thing. This is
This lady
disgusting.
won.
Bro,
This lady won.
I remember a time where if you put like a little hair dye in your dog's ears, like people were gonna rip you to pieces.
Oh,
You don't
for
dye a,
sure.
just like you don't dye fish. Like there are fish that are dyed. You ever seen those tetras? They glow up in the dark. Those things are pumped.
They're dyed?
Yeah,
I
parrotfish
had
too.
them.
You know those big parrotfish, the fat eyes, and sometimes they're red, orange, sometimes they're blue. They pump those with dyes too. You don't do that to animals, and any real fish person knows you never buy those fish because you don't support that industry. And it's the same thing with this. Like you don't dye animal. Like this is human being shit. Like if you want to dye yourself, then dye your own hair, but you don't do this to a dog, dude.
Dye your skin, dye your eyes, dye your
Pathetic.
teeth.
But these are like, and I can't, I guess loosely translating it into English, just saying like, they can't talk. They can't tell you that this is what they want or what
Yeah.
they
There's no way it's what they
I
want.
can tell you this right now. They definitely
This is
don't want
why
this.
I can bet you $6 trillion. I do love the cat from Alice in Wonderland built around his head. It looks, it's pretty sick.
Pretty sick.
Like don't get me wrong. This is some talented work. Like these people are good at what they do. Look at the cat on his
just
fucking
do
head.
it on something else. Make a stuffed animal. I don't know.
Yeah, they could easily make a stuffed animal, something with fur.
It's just you
Just
don't.
don't push.
Look at that little one. The little one's even more pathetic because it is just a poor little dog fully dyed purple.
He looks so sad.
That's it. It's a dog that was white. They dyed him purple, which means all the dye is seeping into his skin when it rains. It's fucking terrible. You know how carcinogenic fucking that shit probably is.
Anyway.
I mean, they probably have like
How
organic.
sad does this
What
dog
does
look?
it say?
They all
I
look
just kept
sick.
screaming, why are white people so crazy? That's so funny.
Why are white people so crazy?
Yeah,
though?
these are all white people, by the
Oh
way.
no, you ain't gonna catch a fucking black lady shaving her dog into a fucking design, dude. Get the hell out of here. You'll see Americanized Asians. No offense, Americanized you.
Fur jazz.
You'll
like
find
Oh,
you'll
for
see
sure, yeah.
Americanized
You'll
brown
see
folk
some,
like you, Maheen,
some
will definitely.
Japanese people.
And Americanized Japanese will do it, but
Yeah.
there's no other race, no Spanish folk. You ain't gonna see them up there.
No black
You're not gonna
people.
see Maria Gonzalez up there shaving her poodle. She's like, I gotta cook dinner, dude. That's shit to do. I'm not shaving my poodle into a fucking wildebeest.
I hate it. It's too far.
That's way too far.
I don't like it. It disturbs me.
It's weird. You know, I don't fuck with dogs. It's not my cup
I
of
don't
tea.
fuck with fucking with dogs.
Way too far. Way
Way
too far
too
for
far,
me.
too far.
If you want to just cut the dog with a cool design, I think that's weird enough. But if you're gonna dye the dog and start painting it like it's a fucking canvas, it's a little strange.
If somebody said not far enough, what would be the next level?
What more could you do?
Probably just cutting body parts off and shit. Like kind of like you know like humans will put like things under their skin and shit.
Oh, like modifications.
Yeah, modification.
Oh
mean,
my
if this isn't too
God.
far, that's where they'll go
Piercings.
next.
You're right.
Fucking
That's-
white
that's
people,
for
bro.
just
White
like-
people stick horns in their face, so.
I know.
For sure.
They also
Yeah.
stick ridges in their nose so they look like lizards and shit. Like white people do some crazy shit. And so yeah, that would probably be next.
Do you know what's so funny?
They'll fucking like they do with the tail. They'll do it to like his leg.
Oh,
Because
for
like
sure,
three-legged
yeah.
dogs are cooler now. Like so yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god, so bad.
ugh.
Cutting tails
That
off is
makes me
terrible.
sad.
I know, that's really
Even
sad.
snipping your tail because you want your dog to look like a cool,
The
cool
ears- the ears
Doberman.
thing?
Like
The
yeah, the ears pointing the ears
My
out. Oh, that
sister-
shit's pathetic.
My sister's a
Disgusting.
veterinary she's a surgical veterinary technician. She's a manager now.
They
but-
shut that down, right?
But she says they get dogs in who have these crazy infections in their ears from people trying to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And it's just
Do you know what they did to
Disgusting.
my cookie? Rest in peace. She's the greatest thing I ever knew. My cookie, when we got her from the pound, they chopped her like a pig. So not like a point to look cool, for fighting, for like useful. So, because if you have no ear, you can't lose your ear in the fight, which is just going to hurt. So if you lose it as a baby, it won't affect you in the fight. So they just chopped it off. So she just had holes in the side of her head. She had no ears. And then, they had like a litter of puppies with her. And then chopped her tail. They did everything themselves, and then they just sent her up. And they chopped her tail shitty, like she had like a half a tail. So she just didn't have like a point on the tail. They didn't get it short, really. They just like a half a tail because they didn't know what they're doing. And then she had babies because her little udders were already out, and they just dumped her off at the pound.
Damn.
And she wouldn't fight. There's no way she was fighting. She was the worst fighter ever. Like a mush of a dog. So she probably just sucked at it, and they were like, all right, she's a female, we'll get some puppies out of her and just send her on her way. And this dog was such a good dog, but nobody wanted to adopt her because she had a skin problem too. So like her hair was kind of falling out. But they kept telling people, they're like, listen, we can't. Like it was weird. It was like a loophole. Like they're like the shelter will pay for the medicine, but only for the adoptee. Like we will pay for you to get the medicine and fix the dog, but they won't just give it to us. So they like couldn't fix the hair while she was there. But they're like, it's easy. You just give her a couple pills, and it was true. They sent us to the vet, and the vet wrote us a prescription. We gave her the pills. It took like 2 weeks, and her coat came back full.
Bing, bada, boom.
Bing, bada, boom. But they say you couldn't give it to her. And the lady, when she took us out, now I'm getting on a tangent about Cookie, but she took us out. She's like, this is the best dog we have. Like, we can't believe that. Like, my stepdad must be the dog whisperer. We were looking at this cute little puppy, and he's like, what about this? And I'm like, that ugly thing, we are not taking that thing home. That is a grown dog. She was a grown dog. Huge pit bull. Big head like this. I'm like, we don't even know that dog. That dog is crazy. We're not taking that dog home. He's like, no, this dog doesn't bark. Because we went like 3 times, and he kept looking at this dog. Like, Chris, stop looking at the ugly dog in the corner. We're getting this dog. And then this old man took the puppy that we wanted. So Chris was like, you should check this one out. He kept saying it over and over. Like, all right, whatever. And the lady's like, you like that dog? And she went nuts, like almost like she couldn't believe anybody liked this dog, but she was like so excited someone did. She's like, this is the best dog we have. Watch this. She makes us go outside to like this park they have out there. She's like, this is the only dog in the whole place that does this. She'll run up the seesaw, wait for it to fall down. She'll run down the seesaw. She'll jump through hoops and shit. Cool. Yeah, she would do all these tricks. Cookie, and she was like a grown dog, and she's like, this dog takes 5 minutes to learn a trick. She's like, 5 minutes, the smartest dog I've ever seen. And I'm like, I still didn't want it. I'm like, I don't know, I don't want this fucking dog. So we gave it a day. We come back, we took her home, and when she got in that car, she just laid on me the whole time, and then that was it. I was hooked. That's it. She was the best dog I ever had. It was so she got so hooked on me, like the disposition thing happens quick because like she just never had a person. So just that ride home, and then that first night, like I just spent so much time with her. She started sleeping in my bed and following me around to the point where everyone just was like, it's Nick's dog, you know, it doesn't really like. So I had to like neglect her for a couple weeks just to get her to hang out with the rest of the family. And she ended up being, she was like Chris's dog and my dog. She was our dog. Like we really had the best relationship with her. But she was a great dog. As a matter of fact, funny story, because I'm ranting a little bit, but we live on a dead end and somebody got robbed outside of the house.
I know.
Somebody got robbed outside the house. So up until this point, we'd never seen this dog bark. It doesn't even bark. All it does is kind of whine a little bit. If like you go to hit like, if Cookie stop, it'll be like we're sorry, we didn't mean it. Like you didn't do it. It's all right. And so that was all it would do. We just thought it was like really bad disposition. It's beaten down dog. You ever raise its hand, it's always gonna whimper. And this fucking guy gets robbed outside of our house. Gets hit with a gun. That's what he thought. He could have got hit with anything, but they ran out of the cab. So he jumped out of the cab and ran to the closest house, which was ours. And he was banging on the door, bleeding. And the whole door was covered in blood. Yeah. He's banging, banging, banging. We never hear this dog bark. The thing is gargling at the front door. And we're like, well, what do we do? Like, we're more scared of the dog than the guy at the door. We're like, do we go near this dog? And Chris is like, I don't know. She's been good. I don't know. It's a Cookie. Go away. And he listened. Just went away. And then opened the door. But the dog must have snapped like, bro, you're not fucking this up. Like, I just got here. And you're not going to kill my whole family now, so you sent me back to that shithole. So you picked the wrong house, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, she wouldn't move from the door. It was crazy. I never seen her do that again. That's the only time she ever did that. Only last time she ever did that. So rest in peace to Cookie. But regardless, I wouldn't paint her.
Yeah.
Ever.
Too far.
Ever. I don't care how good it looks. All right. We'll do coronavirus.
Sure.
We're going to do coronavirus memes. Just an update on coronavirus. World Health Organization just said that it's an international crisis.
Really?
However, based off of what I've read, based off of what I've seen, it could grow a little, but there's always every 10 years there's something that kills a bunch of people and then goes away. You know, bad for those people, but
Ebola,
we're going to be just fine.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine over here.
Swine flu, all that stuff.
I mean, the Chinese have a huge population issue, so it's really a good problem for them to have.
Honestly, I have my opinions about this. I said this earlier. I feel like there's too many people on the planet.
Straight up and down.
The flu this year killed
Darwinism.
8,500 people so far.
That's because nobody wants to get those shots anymore.
Yeah, but the coronavirus has like what, 17, 20 people? I think we're gonna be fine.
Yeah. The flu's probably more dangerous. But what I would like to say is I do love the bigoted old boomsticks. I love their jokes, because they're really fired up on how the Chinese deserve this because they eat snakes and spiders. Like they are fired up on this point. Everyone. It's a Fox News point. It's a point from my father, my mom, everybody that's on the right. They all are like, yeah, well, you keep eating that food like that, that's what's going to happen. I don't know where this thought process has come from, but it's going to be a meme.
Because
eventually you'll see the meme.
Coronavirus is really something that's been around for a long time. It's the same type of virus that gives you the common cold. This version of it is usually in animals, and that's the big deal about
that's
it.
Why.
Is that
oh, okay, so it has a little more truth to it than just people
transfer to people.
Yeah, from eating weird food,
from
eating weird animals.
They're saying bats and stuff
bats,
like that. I've seen
bats
like
and
bats
snakes
and
shit.
soups.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like any merit to that, but
I do love that narrative.
We're gonna
that
be just fine.
Yeah, I'm not that worried. I mean, I always say it to you guys, your mere mortal viruses are never going to affect me anyways. I haven't washed my hands in 20 years, and I haven't got sick, so I'll be fine. You mere mortals, you might want to watch out, but I'll be okay.
Well, we'll do coronavirus memes. Me and the squad trying to catch coronavirus. So we skip work, they're just drinking Coronas.
So we can skip work, yeah. Me protecting myself from coronavirus, she's got like a thing across there.
This is the, what's his name?
Oh, I love the Fast and the Furious one is man funny. It's from the first.
You can have any virus you want as long as it's a corona.
As long as it's a corona.
The first Fast and the
You can have any
Furious.
beer you want from the first Fast and the Furious. You can have any beer you want as long as it's corona.
You know, by the last one, it was like Bud Lights, I think, or some shit. It was a different Heineken.
They were drinking Heineken.
In the whole series, it was Coronas, and then by the last one, it was like Heinekens.
Must have got a sponsorship.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
That one's kind of funny. Bottom right.
Oh shit. With all the coronavirus memes, I thought I'll also contribute. It's a bunch of Heinekens with that face mask that the Asians be wearing over their face, and the corona staring at them. Trendy clothes 2019, trendy clothes 2020. So it's a fucking hazmat suit. Who would win, the deadly virus or the face mask? Dude, it is crazy how those people are always wearing them things. Why they do that?
Just to protect.
It's just a high volume of population there,
so
there's
that's
probably a ton of
them. They do it here too. You think it's just like
smog?
Extra, yeah, smog. That's the word.
Smog. That shit kills you, bro.
So they're just constantly wearing those masks.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I didn't even wear those masks when I used to cut bricks and fucking stone. And these people are wearing it just to walk outside their house.
I mean, they have to.
Coronavirus, which can be killed by alcohol. I don't fear you, slobs. Then you will die braver than most.
I don't get this
Don't
one
get it.
at all.
A lot of these are from other countries because it's not really that big here. The memes aren't great, but yeah, none of these people are getting laid. So 2020 starts. Iran in the USA, Australia's on fire, Venice is underwater, China's sick. When you realize that 2020 has 11 more months, Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared.
That's kind of funny.
That is funny. There's a lot of shit going on in 2020. Well, I mean, two out of those four things are just based on the fact that nobody wants to come to the conclusion that we're destroying the country. I was just on the phone with a guy in Michigan. He goes, how's the weather out there? I didn't know he was from Michigan. He said, how's the weather out there? I said, honestly, it's the warmest summer I've ever seen, warmest winter I've ever seen in my life. I've been here my whole life. I said, it's only snowed once, nothing to cry home about, and it was 70 degrees a week and a half ago. He goes, no. I'm like, yeah, how is it in Michigan? He goes, honestly, we got like 4 feet monster snow like 3 weeks ago, but everything else has just been 35 and rainy and cold. It kind of sucks, actually. I'm like, yeah, it's weird, right? It's like, you can tell me all the science and shit you want. I'm not a scientist, but I know what it feels like. I'm not a scientist, but I'm a fucking New Yorker.
Yeah,
I've been here for 27 cocksucking years. I know what it feels like when you walk outside in the middle of the winter. I know what it feels like. Went door to door through a lot of those winters. I know when it's different and when there's something wrong. Like it's not, you can't debate me anymore. Like it is hotter. I want to see the numbers. It is hotter than it was 10 years ago, the same exact days. It has to be, because I was here 10 years ago and it wasn't as hot. It was cold. You know what I mean? Like, it used to snow on Christmas, believe that or not.
It used to snow in October.
Our fucking winters don't start till January 20th. I mean, and they end February 20th. It's like a month of winter. It's terrible. Yeah. It's bad.
I read this article on, I forgot where, but they were saying how some parts of the Pacific Ocean have gotten so acidic that some of the crab shells are soft.
Well, they always have soft shell crabs.
Well, no, they're like crabs that are supposed to be hard.
Oh, okay.
Are dissolving.
Their shells are just not getting
shells.
strong enough or whatever.
Because the water, something, whether it's dumping or chemicals or plastics in the water, they're just soft.
Oof. I mean, I believe that. I mean, there's overfishing. There's so many issues. But what I worry about sometimes that makes me lean more towards the rights idea is like, can you affect it? Like we talked about, and I saw the movie The Revenant, great movie. And I've been really fired up on that, like, little long, yeah. It started, but I was saying, I was watching my pops and I reached for my cigarettes. I'm like, we just clicked dragging on. I'm like, something clicked in my brain that this is dragging. And then as soon as I said that, he got up, I think, and then got back to camp, and they went to find the guy. So it was like, and then they had to find him in the woods and kill him and trap him. He's like, just like the milk, I got him running. He's scared. But anyways, you should go see the movie. It's a good movie. It's on Hulu. That's how I got it. But anyways, my point, the reason I brought it up had nothing to do with anything other than the fact that I've been kind of like into that time period, like that frontier time period, like, and over hunting and the destruction of wild, like that was stuff that people, they just didn't know. I mean, like, you come in, right, people are like, oh, I'll give you $50 per pelt. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip every pelt they got in this fucking woods. Yeah, it's like sometimes you can affect it. Like sometimes it's always gonna be hindsight 2020. You're never gonna be able to see the future, and so I do sometimes subscribe to that. So this is the problem. On the right, the notion is there's nothing we can do about it and it's going to be fine. That notion I will never subscribe to. On the left, it's we can do everything about it. It's all our fault and it's not going to be fine unless we fix it. Where I'm at is like a middle of the two. We may be affecting it and it may not be fine, but there still could be nothing we can do about it. That's like where I'm like torn between, like, can we really change everything, or is that just something I was saying?
Okay, fair, and I agree.
Because the Japs are gonna keep hunting dolphins and killing every tuna around because they like tuna. Like they don't care what America says.
But think about all of like the sustainable alternatives that we have that we could start utilizing more, like. I mean, anything. Like, we could just be smarter about the fishing. We could be smarter about, like, the disposal.
Well, we are, but we have a ton of standards on that stuff,
Let's just say we stop, right?
Teddy Roosevelt shut down overhunting. That's where the Conservation Act came in. So, I mean, we've been doing it. We've been protecting wildlife for hundreds of years.
And nobody
else does it except for us.
Other than the Japanese. And who are we? Like, we could impose tariffs or whatever, but if they want dolphin fins, they're gonna eat the dolphin fin.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like stuck in that.
How can you enforce another country?
Yeah, that's why I'm like kind of stuck in this idea of like, is it our fault? Yes, that I agree with. Is it getting bad? Yes, I just went off about the cocksucking weather, you know. And but is there anything we can do about it? That's where I'm not convinced.
I think
anyone on the left will tell you yes.
Yeah.
Anyone on the right will tell you no. And I'm like stuck in the middle. Problem is, like, you got people like hard on the right that will stand there and say that it's not bad, we're not affecting it, and there's nothing we can do about it. That's those three things together.
There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, they're just saying there's nothing wrong.
There's always been fires in Australia.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
There's always been bad weather.
Okay. There was a fire in the Amazon jungle. There's just less people there, and we don't know any Amazonians, so nobody cares. But it happened there too, and that's the rainforest. A fucking rain.
Our oxygen supply.
Yeah, it's rain forest. It's supposed to be rain in it, like rain. It's not like the desert. That makes sense. But I was even watching the live action Lion King because yes, I have Disney Plus. I said that already. I'm fired up on it. But I was watching the live action Lion King. And even in that movie, I didn't realize it until they put it in live action because it's a cartoon with all like the singing. You don't really catch on.
Yeah.
Scar overhunted. I didn't realize that what happened. That's why the fires and the drought happened. He overhunted the area, which doesn't make any sense because if you overhunted, the grass would have grown bigger and it would have been more.
It would not affect the weather.
Yeah, it wouldn't turn into a drought because he overhunted. But
that doesn't make sense.
But overhunting is a very common idea. I mean, they're putting it in Disney movies. And can we affect overhunting? That's like the kind of stuff I don't know. Yeah, we protected our Great Plains buffalo. That's why they're still here. There's only like 1,000 of them, but they stay at that population because at one point Teddy was like, no more hunting the Great Plains buffalo. It's just like, they're all going to be gone, that sucks. Like, when all of one animal is gone, that sucks. And I think we have a really good notion of it. I think the next best place is Africa. They have a really good notion of it. Like, the only people that poach animals are just hungry, you know? Like, it's not like doing it for fun. Like, there are people that come from here and shoot big game, but everybody knows those people suck. And the conservationists that protect these animals will shoot you in 1 second if you're a poacher. Like, it's a dangerous job to be a poacher.
But then there's people that pay millions, or not millions.
To have a poacher take them over there.
Yeah.
But this is the thing, like, you pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, if some dude who likes JoJo the Lion catches you on that property, he's gonna shoot you dead right there. So it's dangerous to be a poacher over there too. So it's not like it's free for all that people try to make it out to be, you know, like poachers are looked down on there too, as much as they are here. But there's always gonna be poaching. There's always gonna be people looking for loopholes. There's always gonna be people looking to make money.
You gotta do something about it.
Like organized crime is a great example. It's never gonna go anywhere.
Something is better than nothing. Something is better than nothing, and if enough people do it, then more people will do it. You know, if it's easier, if it's cheaper, if it's whatever, like people will jump on the bandwagon if they feel that it's accessible to them.
I think what we do definitely need is like more science, more hard facts. I've seen enough videos of Africa and the koala bears burning, but I don't understand why still to this day. Can any of you riddle me the science on it?
As to why like the fire started?
Other than climate change. Why? Why specifically did a fire happen and not a flood?
From what I understand, and I don't even know if this would make sense.
I don't really need to
It's
explain. It was kind of hypothetical.
Yeah.
It was kind of a hypothetical. It's just like we're not laying out the facts. We're not like, hey, like I don't see good stories of like logical people who are like, hey, this is why Australia's on fire. It's just like Australia's on fire, and either you're gonna help because you're a good liberal, or you're not gonna help because you're a piece of shit conservative. Like enough with this teams bullshit. Yeah. And let's all just talk about why is fucking the koala bear on fire right now.
Al Gore, you have to make another movie.
Al Gore's movie wasn't bad, and then everybody tried to turn it into a cash grab. It was just a giant cash grab back then, remember? But he was on
DiCaprio has to make a movie.
You know what? I'm such a nihilist though, like, let it all burn up.
Oh my god.
Let it all burn up. I'd love to be part of the generation, but I know a lot of you listening, you won't. You know, and I know a lot of those boomsticks, they don't want to be part of the generation that burns up. That's for damn sure. So you guys should probably be looking for a fix more than me. I could care less. I'll be part of that generation. When it burns up, I'll be looting and raping all of you. Fuck
my
god. No, I'm just kidding. But I won't rape anybody. But yeah, I won't rape anybody. I would never do that. But I will rob you. If there was world chaos, I will steal everything from you. But
mostly food or water.
Mostly, yeah, whatever's necessary. Yeah, I'll be fucking Danny McBride dragging Channing Tatum around like a pet by the end of the whole thing. But regardless, like if you don't want to be part of that catastrophe, you gotta do something about it. Coronavirus is I'm not scared of the coronavirus.
All right. I guess the last topic here would be Beanie's Corner.
Yay!
Yay! So I've been obsessed. Okay, I love reality TV, and I just wanted to share this new show
you and
that
Jessica.
I found.
I love it too.
Do you really? You're gonna like this.
Me and Jess both watch The Challenge still. I text her all the time. Well, not anymore. I used to text her. I'd be like, "Oh my god, did you see it?" And we talk about it. It's the MTV Challenge. Ask her about it. Like, do you watch the MTV Challenge? She'll be like, "Yeah, I love it."
Oh my god.
It's her favorite show. Yeah, it's my favorite show. So when it's going on, we're like, "I'm like, did you see Jordan last night? He fucking killed it." And she'll be like, "Yeah, it was so sick." Like we're like children watching MTV, dude.
That's great. So there's this reality TV show that came out on Netflix, and what they did was a 3-week-long like special to kind of gain some sort of popularity. But it's called The Circle. So the
Oh yeah, I was gonna watch it.
Yo, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, on Netflix, right?
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Dude, I almost clicked it, but I was like, I don't know. You know, sometimes with Netflix, like you get so close to click and play, and then you hit that back button, and you're like right back to searching.
I've gone as far as like clicking things, starting it, and be like, no, I'm gonna watch Parks and Rec or something.
Yeah,
because
you know what it is.
But no, this is great.
That's a good way. I can trust it.
I could trust it.
Yo, like we're looking for a new movie. I need someone to tell me it's good or something. Otherwise, like I go online all the time. And I'm like, what's the best movies on Netflix right now, January 2020? Just so that somebody can tell me their like synopsis, so I can be like, all right, let me watch it. Otherwise, I'll just be clicking, and I'll be like, what the fuck do I know about movies? Like, I gotta tell them this is good. So anyway, go ahead. How's The Circle?
Yeah. So The Circle's great. What they did 12 episodes in total. 4 episodes every Wednesday for 3 weeks to kind of do this like splurge worthy, which side note I loved because we're binge watchers.
Yeah.
So they did it in a way where you'd watch 4 episodes in a row and be like, when's the next 4 episodes? Like whatever.
Oh, so, they're dropping 4 at a time.
And they've done it all. So by January 15th, all 12 episodes are out. The winner has been released. But The Circle, the concept, and I love this, right?
You don't see the person, just their
online
appearance.
Anything. You don't know anything about anybody. It's 8 contestants. And they shot it over in England, I found out. at the Circle Apartments, which is like this beautiful building with this giant circle on the outside and this like isolated pool.
Where is that?
It's in England.
Okay.
So
Are they all English?
No, they're all American.
Oh, really?
So they're all just separated from their family. At least as far as I got. I only got into episode 3. So there's 8 people that went in. Each person has their own separate apartment, their own little activity room. So like one person, if they like yoga, if they like the gym, whatever, they have their own thing, and they cannot communicate with anybody whatsoever unless it's through the social media platform, the Circle. So what it does is you get there, you make a profile. You pick one picture to start with, and you make a bio. You put in, your age, if you're single, married,
Here's the
whatever.
thing. This is the thing that he needs to catch on to. You can lie.
You can catfish.
Yes. So they want to know who are the people that are being themselves the people not. So then they're gonna vote people off. Because I saw the trailer.
Yeah.
So they're gonna vote people off 1 through 8. Last person standing wins, I guess, like Survivor.
Yeah.
But you can be you, or you can be someone else. Like you could just one guy be's a girl because he's just like everybody likes girls. So
he's his girlfriend.
He beats his girlfriend. He's like, my girlfriend's better looking than I am, so I'm gonna put her pictures up there.
Literally. So
what's the objective?
The objective is to get everybody to like you so that you can win the $100,000 prize.
The people in the house.
People in the house.
You're all in a house with basically a locked door. So like you could be above me, but I never see you. I just see you on here as you could be Maria Santiago, and I'll vote you every time. Damn, look at her butt, though.
Yeah.
And then at the end it could be you. You win $100,000. You're like, ah, it's Maria, baby. Then you get your money.
So as you like go through each day, you rank people 1 through 7, excuse me, because you can't rank yourself. The top 2 become influencers. The influencers get to go into a separate.
But they get to meet each other.
No, they get into a separate solo room each, and have a screen facing each other where they're like typing and talking to each other and deciding as the influencers who goes home each day. If you win a prize, right, you can put a second picture up, you could put a video up of yourself, like you can add things to your profile, and that's the only thing that people are going to see.
Alexia looks unenthused.
You can do group messages, whatever.
I love it. I'm going home to watch it because it's been in my brain key for a while. So now that you've endorsed it, I will watch it because I can trust it.
This guy who chose to be his girlfriend, isn't he gonna run out of content soon?
No, because
they only let
it's his
you put one
girlfriend.
picture,
Oh, so you can bring as much content as you want with you. So there's that guy. There's a woman who is a lesbian who's like a butch lesbian. So she's pretending to be a really hot girl, Mercedes.
Like a lipstick lesbian.
Yeah, like a lipstick, whatever.
You could put,
by a curious person.
You could put like today's video.
No, these are all like, this is pre-chosen, yeah.
Okay, I see.
And then as people get voted off, they get the option of getting to visit one person in the house face to face. That is fun.
That's probably awesome.
The first person that got voted out, she immediately went to one of the influencers and was like, yo, what the fuck? Why did you vote me out?
What did he say?
She was like, I thought you were catfish. I didn't think you were real.
Oh, she was pretty?
Because she was a little extravagant. She kind of pissed me off. I didn't like her.
She was just an over-the-top chick that if you flipped her on Tinder, you'd think she was fake. Like,
yeah,
she takes like professional pictures and shit. There are
girls
like that. Yeah.
She's a model. But, like, again, you're being filmed for reality TV, so you're acting a certain type of way. Like, stop talking. You know what I mean? That's how I felt.
Yeah.
So I guess that was conveyed. So the point is to get people to like you, so then you win this $100,000 prize at the end. I went to the Wikipedia page and I ruined it for myself. And
Don't do that. Jess does that every year with the challenge.
No,
she goes online, she looks at who wins, and then watches the show. I'm like, who on earth would do that, dude?
I didn't mean to.
It's like watching recorded baseball. It's like watching Game 7.
Did you do it with the Will Groomed too?
No.
That's just a documentary.
Yeah, it's just a documentary. This is an actual winner, right?
Yeah,
so you know the winner, don't tell me. Don't tell anybody here either. Go watch The Circle if you want to find out who won. I love reality TV. I was at my mom's house and I put a solid 2 hours in on this is my 600-pound life. Yeah.
Damn.
Solid 2 hours and a couple steaks.
I've never been into it.
Oh, it's fucking
I've never
insane.
been into it.
It's like a car crash. It's just like, it's a car crash and you're just like, what the fuck? Is anyone else gonna die? And then you just watch the next episode.
Jessica almost convinced me to watch it because.
Wait, she watches the 600-pound life.
No, to watch reality TV. She loves reality TV, all of it, Bachelor and all that stuff.
Bachelor's. I'm gonna get into the Bachelor because that's a phenomenon right now.
She told me.
You can bet on the Bachelor like you do for.
Yeah, sports and shit.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous because I want to get myself in there and try to.
I've seen people I've seen parties where dudes. A room full of dudes are like, yeah!
And they're winning money.
Yeah, they're winning.
I want to you know how they points like point shaving.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to like point shave at the match where everybody thinks this guy's gonna win. You vote this guy. He's 300-1 underdog. I'll put 3,000 on it. Your share is this, and then boom, we get it all to happen.
But yeah, Jessica was telling me how the reason why she likes it is because she doesn't have to think about it. She could hear it on her headphones and not have to physically see it all the time. And if she has to go and do and be productive, she can still be productive while watching that stuff. And I'm like, yes, it's kind of sick. Like, is there anything you like to watch? Just sit down and watch? She's like, no, I just like to. I have too much to do.
So she's just like watches reality because it's not important.
Makes sense.
And you don't have to follow it.
She was just like, I know, I'm sick.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. But I mean, I do that too. Like, if I feel like I'm gonna be unfocused or I'm just like on my phone, like swiping or whatever the fuck I'm doing. If I'm doing that, I'll put on like. Whatever, you know, like
brainless TV.
Brainless TV, yeah, like because it's easier to like watch. But now that I'm a straight streamer, nothing's really brainless because you have to get to it. You know, you have to click play and you have to click start. So it's like you have to kind of think everything through. YouTube's my way to go for brainless shit though. I'll just put on like a podcast that I come back to every 3 minutes if I want to. If I hear something interesting, I go back, try to figure out what they're talking about.
Jump right into the conversation.
Watch The Circle, you'll like it.
I'm gonna check The Circle out.
Yeah.
I just saw, like I said, I saw The Revenant. Oh, since we're into movies, I've been on a kick because I have been doing. I'm gonna do more of that as soon as I get home. So I've been on a kick. I watched the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. One of my favorite movies that I think I've ever seen. It's a comedy. It's 6 vignettes, so 6 short films, all by the Coen brothers. Coen brothers are known for like quick death, just like that reality of life kind of thing. I'll just give you a quick rundown of like the first episode. So the first episode is about Buster Scruggs. He's only in the first movie though. It's just named after him. And then there's little stories throughout the whole thing. Actually, I'll give you my favorite one because this is the best one. So it's Liam Neeson and this boy. You've seen him. If you've seen him, you've seen him in other movies. Except for they fake CGI or whatever, because the actor, I know him, so he has arms and legs. They cut his arms and legs off. But at first you just see Liam Neeson pulls into an old town, you know, in those days, a frontier West Village or whatever the fuck, and his cart, it opens to a stage and he sets up all the lights with candles and they have like a casing, so they shoot the light towards the stage and he sets the chair up, the curtain, the whole nine, he goes behind it and he pulls the fucking thing. People come and they sit and they watch. And it's a guy with no legs, no arms, kneeling on a chair with just the greatest vernacular, like a great speaker, and he's reading Ozymandias, the Gettysburg Address, I think, and the Constitution. Like, just so he sounds smart, because these people don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So he's an orator, or whatever that they call him, an orator. Yeah. So he's a smart talker, right? And they do this town to town to town. And at first...
What year?
You're talking 16. I mean, whenever they were looking for gold. Whenever they were looking for gold. 49ers.
Got it.
So what is that? Yeah,
long time ago.
Yeah, 1649, I think that was. That's why they named it that. But a long time ago, frontier times. So, anyways, nobody's speaking though, other than the people saying ooh ah, and the guy giving his entertainment. Right? Liam Neeson says next to nothing. And there's different scenes. Liam Neeson holding his shirt up so the kid can piss, you know, his shirt out of his dick and shit. Like, he's feeding him. He's feeding a little kid. So you get this idea, like, is it a little brother? Is it his son, maybe? What the hell's going on? Keep going to towns. But what you notice is the amount of people start dwindling. Less people are interested. And the name of this movie, this little short film is called Meal Ticket. And so the crowds start to dwindle. Less money starts to come in. Next thing you know, he goes to a town and he sees that all of his old fans are now by this other truck. And he's like, what the hell, another car? He goes over there, he goes, what are you doing? He goes, oh, I got this chicken. And when you give him 2 numbers, he'll count it and he'll click the right number. People love it. And he watches it. He'll be like, 5 plus 6. People are just yelling from the stand. He hits the 11. They're like, ding, ding. There's some kind of way to cheat, so it tricks everybody. But they love it. The chicken is guessing the numbers. Yeah. So he buys the chicken from the guy. He goes, you got an extra chicken? He said, yeah. He buys the chicken. And you see the chicken in his cage and the little boy in the back of their cart. And they're going. That's what they always do. Going to the next town. Yeah. And you see him. He gets off. And they stop. He goes by like a bridge. And he's like, I don't know what he's doing. And then he just dumps a rock off of it. And you watch the rock fall. And the next scene that you see is him walking up to the boy. And the boy doesn't have a smile on his face. Yeah. And then the next thing you see is the back view of the cart. No boy, just a chicken. Yeah. He threw the crippled kid off the fucking bridge because he wasn't making him money anymore. Yeah. He was never related to him, nothing. It was his meal ticket. Yeah. And that's how the Coen brothers do this. So hopefully you like me explaining it. If you didn't, just go watch it because they do a better job of it. And like, it's like one of those things where like you think a character is too important, they die. Like they know how to shock you with shit like that. So I won't give any more away. My second favorite one was a guy just because I wish I was him. He was like in the old frontier, beautiful area, and he's looking for gold. And he's sifting through the water and and he's like, dude, he was so good at it. I didn't notice how he did it. He'd be like 4 pieces, then he'd move over 8 pieces, move over 12 pieces. All right, 8 pieces. Oh, it's going down. So all right, there's the pocket. He's calling him Mr. Pocket. He's like going to sleep. He's just by himself with a donkey. He's like, I'm gonna get you, Mr. Pocket. I'll be there tomorrow, Mr. Pocket. And he's looking for this gold. Like, could you imagine being a guy like work your whole fucking life just digging, and then you hit this payload of freaking gold? I won't ruin that one. Mr. Pocket, you might be old. I might be old, but you're older, he says. And so I'll watch that. I thought it was a great movie. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Okay. Check it out. It's easy to watch too.
Check it out. Yeah.
They're like 15 minutes a piece. So if you want
my interest.
Yeah.
Good deal. Other than that, I really got nothing. Yeah, crazy week. Hope everybody, just got a little perspective from this week, spending some time with their family, doing things that are important. And then other than that, just go to work, make shit happen. And, Kobe, there you go. Just ended. He missed.
Shaq
missed awfully. Yeah, really, other than that, that is about it. You guys have anything?
No. It's been fun.
Like, subscribe. I'm at the 10 Kids. She's at SEVENTYXS7. ALEXIO0503 is for Alexio. It's also his birthday if you want to send him something. And I am, of course, THA, the number 10 Kid, on all social media platforms. Other than that, I got nothing for you guys. I know it was a long one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Bye.
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 Cool world. Yeah. Top down, see way back. Riding all through the city with a bad one. Tell me why I gotta be like that. Cause you can't live your dream unless you have. I just wanna wake up with all these pretty women around me. And I don't wanna wake up if this ain't really how it's gonna be. Cause I can't afford it, but I bought it. Cause that's who I'm gonna be. I'm counting hundreds with no money. Cause it's all in my dreams. It was all good just a week ago, and then I spent all my money over the weekend. So flexing with my niggas and drinking only so we can go hang out with some girls that only listen to Weekend. So I told her I'm a motherfucking star boy, but I ain't even have a motherfucking car, boy. These girls be tripping, they think I'm tripping, they brazen, but goddamn my ass was looking so amazing. I'm in a Swayze, riding through Northside, about to hit the Sixers game, you know I'm sitting courtside. So close I give Simmons a dap, put 100 on the shot, cause I got it like that. So we vibing and we rolling. I'm in that Model S and it ain't stolen. I woke up in the morning sweating like a fiend, cause nothing was what it seemed. That shit was only a dream. Cool world. Top down, see way back. Riding all through the city with a bad one. Tell me why I gotta be like that. Cause you can't live your dream unless you have. I just wanna wake up with all these pretty women around me. And I don't wanna wake up if this ain't really how it's gonna be. Cause I can't afford it, but I bought it. Cause that's who I'm gonna be. I'm counting hundreds with no money. Cause it's all in my dreams. And it's all for my team, and they know what that means. If I got it, they got it. They know that I'm about it. It's just what it seems. A wise man said you ain't living if you ain't dreaming. But when you broke as fuck, that shit can have a different meaning. I close my eyes and reminisce about the things I'm missing, and then I wake up in the morning for a pot to pissin'. It's a hustler's ambition, doing anything to get it. I don't even care who with it. If I could dream it, I could live it. It's the world that we live in. It's the hustler's commitment. I lose it all and I'll be back whipping up in the kitchen. Cause when my back's against the wall, I'm gon' grind. And if I have to choose, I do it every time. Dream now, live later, that's the motto. So every time we toast, there's a message in the bottle. Cool world. Top down, see way back. Riding all through the city with a bad one. Tell me why I gotta be like that. Cause you can't live your dream unless you have. I just wanna wait.